Quick question, what do Snickers, vet clinics, and Pet DNA have in common? Well, they're all owned by the same massive conglomerate, Mars. By every surface measure, Mars still looks like a candy company. Twix, M&M's, Milky Way, global, iconic brands built on impulse and sugar. But underneath that familiar exterior sits one of the quietest and most disciplined pivots in modern business. Today, Mars is a $112 billion pet care and animal health giant. And that didn't happen by accident. Let's take you back to the beginning. The Mars story begins in 1882 with Franklin Clarence Mars, but the person who truly scaled the business was his son, Forrest Mars Sr. He was obsessed with efficiency, control, and long-term advantage. In 1935, he made a move that barely registered at the time, the quiet acquisition of a small British dog food company called Chappie. No press, no fanfare, but that single deal became a foundation of a strategy that has been compounding for nearly a century. At the time, pet food was low prestige and largely ignored by major food companies, but Forrest saw something others didn't. Candy as a discretionary, but pets, well, they eat every day. So in 1965, Mars formalized this insight by founding the Waltham Pet Care Science Institute, reframing pet food from a commodity into an applied nutritional science. Pet care wasn't a side business, it was a system waiting to be built. By the early 2000s, Mars realized food alone was no longer the high ground. The real leverage sat elsewhere, pet care itself. The logic was simple and unsentimental. Pet food feeds the animal, veterinarians influence decisions, and diagnostics determine outcomes. So Mars began buying the system itself. First came Banfield Pet Hospital, which they scaled and standardized. Then came Blue Pearl, which they acquired in 2017 for $9.1 billion, adding more than 1,000 clinics. Today, Mars operates more than 2,500 veterinary hospitals worldwide, spanning routine wellness, emergency, and specialty care. And then there's the secrecy. After a rare interview in 1966, Forrest Mars Sr. felt misrepresented and vowed never to speak to the press again. What followed was the now legendary Mars cult of secrecy. 100% family-owned, intensely private, and structurally insulated from Wall Street. That insulation wasn't a mistake. It was strategic. Mars didn't stop at ownership. It built the future pipeline, and in 2018, Mars co-founded Leap Venture Studio and launched a companion fund. Mars is no longer positioning itself as a consumer brand company. It's positioning itself as an integrated animal health platform, one designed to connect food, care, data, and outcomes.